Okay, so let's have a look at unemployment. What I'm going to look at in this video is the costs of unemployment. So, why do we care about unemployment as a policy objective? So government's always been obsessed by it because having high levels of unemployment loses them votes. But there are practical reasons, separate from politics, that we might think that having, like Greece did, 25-30% unemployment is particularly unfortunate. And we can divide those costs into three or four different categories. And firstly, the obvious one is that it's worse for the government's finances. When unemployment's high, the government's highly likely to have a budget deficit, with government spending greater than tax, which will in turn lead to an increase in the national debt. And that's for two fairly obvious reasons, which is, one, when people are unemployed, there's going to be a decrease in the tax base. So the government's going to get less tax revenue in. Obviously, it's going to get a decrease in income tax. That's going to fall. People won't be spending, so there'll be a decrease in indirect taxes, such as VAT. Companies won't be making much profits, so therefore there's likely to be a decrease in corporation tax revenue. At the same time, of course, when people are unemployed, you're automatically entitled to unemployment benefits. So as soon as you got unemployment, it's likely that tax is going to go down, government spending is going to go up, and then the government's going to have a budget deficit, which we've talked about elsewhere as to why that might be considered undesirable. Secondly, what we can argue is that really unemployment is kind of a fairly serious waste of resources. All these people could have been doing something else. The situation, I suppose that's capital goods and consumer goods, doesn't really matter. That's the economy's production possibility frontier. When there are unemployed resources, it means that the economy is operating inside that production possibility frontier. It could have had more consumer goods at zero opportunity cost. It could have had more capital goods at zero opportunity cost. But in reality, these people are doing nothing. Therefore, we have a situation that's described as Pareto inefficient, which is a situation where it's possible to increase the output of one good without reducing the output of another. So secondly, we're saying there is a waste of resources. So that's number two. Number three, is there a potential kind of long-run consequences of unemployment? So it can have long-run impacts, and in probably two main ways. One is the risk of de-skilling. Those of you that I taught may know this is hysteresis. But fundamentally, the idea is that if people are unemployed for a very long time, what that means is that the world may move on. So the skills that they've got are no longer relevant, or they may begin to lose those skills. So what that can do is it can lead to an increase in long-term unemployment. For those of you who remember what the NAIRU is, I know it's not on the specification for our internal exams, but it's going to worsen. It's going to worsen the NAIRU. So therefore, actually, that's going to restrict long-term growth. And secondly, we know that we've already argued that a decrease in profit can occur during a recession, which is when unemployment's high. That's going to lead to a decrease in investment. Both of those things then can lead to a decrease in potential growth, a decrease in the size of the glass, a decrease in the growth of the capacity of the economy. So that's undesirable as well. So if unemployment stays high for a long time, then we're saying that there are potential long-run consequences of that. And then obviously, fourthly, there are social factors. So it's not just an economic issue. We know that unemployment is associated with health issues. So during the 2008 crisis, unemployment in Greece led to a big increase, or was correlated with a big increase in the number of heart attacks, big increase in the number of stillbirths, which is babies that aren't born alive, and a lot of that's been associated with stress. And it's not just physical health issues; it's mental health issues as well. So we could also there's also that sense that that unemployment's linked to crime, and it's also linked to kind of family issues in terms of again, you can kind of have long run impacts on children, their education, their happiness, and so on and so forth. So taken as a whole, that's why unemployment is generally considered to be undesirable and why it's one of the government's key policy objectives.